topic of this post is my thoughts about Kindred, the reveal of who he is, and so there's definitely going to be spoilers here. So if you watch the rest of the video, now you know. One of the mysteries is a character the past few years that is called Kindred. He is robed in worn-out clothing and he controls centipedes, insects, and has these supernatural powers. And it turns out that it is Harry Osborn is Kindred. And he is now has these demon-like powers. And as I'm making this video, the true origin and the specifics of how he got this way, I don't think have been revealed yet. So Kindred is Harry Osborn under his new identity. And when I think about the Harry Osborn character, he's always been a failure as a villain. He took over the role originally of the Green Goblin, so he became the new Green Goblin when he first started out. And then he forgot he was the Goblin, and then he had these issues, and then he became Peter Parker's friend again, so he was his friend turned his enemy, but he never seemed fully committed to the role to be a supervillain. In terms of his personality, 24 hours a day, that he's always a villain. There was always some mental or drug or whatever issue that he became back to normal Harry Osborn, just a normal guy, Peter Parker's friend, not a villain. And then he would turn temporarily into a villain. But he always seemed not committed to the role. He always seemed second rate. He always seemed more like a guy who needed help, and that he wasn't a true villain. But the way Kindred is acting now and the things he has done in the past, it makes him seem like a true villain. But I have to wonder, is this Kindred, is this a character that will last as a villain in the future? Carnage is a villain who lasted. The Hobgoblin, a villain who lasted. Will Kindred last and stand the test of time as Harry Osborn, as a villain? Will they go that way, or is this just temporary? Is this just like another Judas Traveler? A guy who had potential in the 90s to be a mainstay, who basically only lasted a couple of years, all but forgotten. Remember Scryer, I think that was the name? Another guy, another villain who had potential that ultimately ended up as nothing. There are so many villains and characters they introduce over the years that you think they will get a hold, that they will last, and that they will become something. And they fade out, they do not pan out, and they become just an afterthought. You might see them once in a while, but to no big deal. And so I wonder, it's too new, it's too soon to tell. Will Harry Osborn actually last as a villain? Will they keep him as a villain? Does he have the potential to be that this is his future? Just be like he normally is, be regarded as a second-rate villain, show remorse, throw away the villain identity, go back to being Harry Osborn, and we have the never-ending cycle of the character. A guy who wants to be friends, is a good guy, then becomes a villain, but he's only a second-rate villain, going back to being a good guy, and pretty much irrelevant. So we have to see, is this the change? Could Kindred actually be a lasting villain with potential long-term? Or is this just a temporary phase for Harry Osborn? And given enough time, he will be back to being the good guy again, etc. And this will be discarded. So, what is it? He's always been a character that never truly seemed like a villain, and that he's never had that top tier bad guy potential. But we'll see if this could change. You know, it takes time, it takes the long term. And I'm not sure if Harry Osborn as a bad guy will ever stand the test of time as being one of the major threats in Spider-Man's life. I'm not sure. History, if it's any indication, is the book will eventually get back to normal. He will throw away the costume and he will just be his ally and buddy again. And that's the way it goes. So that's just my view on it. We'll see how it goes. Subscribe, notification button. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.